Good morning, traders. Today is the 20th of August. This is Brad Matheny. This is a 2-hour SPY chart. We did not see the downward trending I expected yesterday. In fact, we saw moderate melt up all day yesterday. So we come in here, we take a look at the data that I had drawn. This again is a 2-hour chart. So we are looking at a broad range of data here. I had expected the markets to move downward. I drew this line yesterday, indicating what I thought would be resistance at this area, rolling into downward trending early this week, expecting a right shoulder type of a setup, maybe. Did not happen yesterday. Given the fact that this entire move to the upside was counter to what I expected, and the fact that we're not seeing any real weakness yet in the market, we're moving into what's called a Bozu Trending day in counter trend mode. So Bozu Trending, Bozu means bald in Japanese, and that normally refers to a open at the higher low or a close at the higher low. That's what's called a Bozu. Here's a classic Bozu bar right here. Potentially, here's a Bozu bar here, and they're not rare. They just don't form all that often. Here is an opening Bozu right here. This bar, this white bar. Down, down, down. Any down bars? Probably not. Maybe some over here. Nope. Yeah, it's very easy to spot a Bozu bar because you will see no wick out of one end. That's what a Bozu refers to. I can see a little wick here, so that doesn't qualify. This is a little Bozu bar, black bar up here. And a Bozu bar basically means that we have extreme buying or selling on one end of the trend. So again, they're not very common. Here's a Bozu bar right here. This is a closing Bozu bar because we have this lower wick here. So we opened here, had a different low, closed on the high. That's a Bozu bar. This is also a Bozu bar, but it's in the shape of a hammer because we closed on the high. Here's an opening Bozu bar. Opened on the low and rallied all the way up. Another opening Bozu bar. So, assuming back over here that we are looking at a Bozu bar in a downward trending mode, we could be looking at something more along the lines of this. Get rid of that. Coming back down and potentially retesting this 551 to 553 area low. This support level, this blue line support level, again, could be retested if the counter trend Bozu bar plays out. We could attempt to retest an area even deeper down here into this gapping area. You can see I've highlighted it. I'll get rid of this and try to get rid of this bar. So you can see this gap area here. I've highlighted it over here in yellow. We have this resistance area that's playing out as well. But, that then puts us down in this potential area as a downside support area. Try to make this a little different. So what we're looking at here, guys, is, the bias in the market is to the upside. And we have this bigger, broader gap right over here that I've drawn in yellow that is the upper channel. So if we continue to melt higher, we're going to be looking at 565, 568, which is doable. I mean, we only have Red Book today and then some Fed comments today, so we're not looking at a huge amount of news. And the counter trend Bozu bar, if it doesn't materialize to the downside, could materialize to the upside, meaning we could have a very strong rally day today. So given that, I'm going to refer back to this 30-minute chart, and I'm going to suggest that if we see a continued trend above this 560, call it 560 and a half area, then I would suspect we are going to be looking at a breakaway. If we see a breakdown of this 556 area here, which again would provide very strong support in this area, then we are going to be looking at a breakdown. So again, trying to mark this in a way for you guys to see the reality of the situation is biasing to the upside is quite strong. And we're really, the vortex rally is strengthening right now. That's where we're at. We're getting into this deep vortex rally. But if we're going to continue to move higher, we will stay above this 556 60, 556 70 area. And we will likely break above this 560, roughly 50 area. If we're going to move downward on that counter trend Bozu bar, then we're going to see it materialize fairly early at around 556.60 or so, that right in this area, 556.49, 556.50, and trend downward. And I suspect a downward trend would put us into this 551, 552 area, trying to retest support. Now, again, it's going to be a rolling type of a pattern, I think. So remember, you have this area acting as the low end of the gap. That's the low end of the gap from back in July. You have this area acting as support, which is long-term trend support, this dashed line here. And then we have the upper area of the gap down here acting as moderate support from way back over here. And that just basically shows us that price is operating within constructs that we can clearly identify. Okay. They really do just come down to all these drawings on the chart that I make. But again, going to be an interesting day. A Bozu trending day could mean a lot of opportunity today, could mean some kind of a news event outside of economic news, because we don't have a lot of economic news. You can see we only have really this down here, the red book, okay, and then we have FOMC, vice chair, and API weekly crude oil stock. So we have really no news today. And that means that we're going to be going flying, I don't want to say blind, but that means that news is going to come from another area. Let's put it that way. Maybe Chicago, maybe the DNC, maybe geopolitical, maybe Israel. Don't know yet. Okay, so let's take a look at gold. Nice move yesterday in gold, fairly solid. You can see here we've got a little bit of upward trend. 2560. Let's take a look at a daily. Yeah, good solid move here today. Perfect. Looks like it's playing very cleanly to what I expected. You can see the drawing here that I did, the green line. And again, let's go out to 30-minute. So you can see we had that little bitty stall. We had the rally up here. And now we're kind of in this midst of this pause right here. So this rolling is taking place right now, a little bit of a roll. And we may end up moving quite a bit higher today. So we're at 2560. We've reached my original target of 2550. As I mentioned to you, I think that we're capable of getting up into this 2580 to 2600 area. But I would be very cautious of chasing it too far up into these highs. Okay. The reality is it's valid. The move is very valid up into these areas, maybe up into 2610, 2605, but I would be cautious of chasing it here. Start running your stops fairly effectively. And if we come out here to a 2-hour chart, you're going to want to run your stops probably let's call it the last 4-day or so midpoint. So, I mean, I know that gold is wide open, but if you need to look at this, we're at the 20th. So we look at the 19th, 18th, all the way back about 4 days. That puts us at a range from here to here. And so your stop level would probably be right in this area as a trend change level. And if you are catching this move and you want to protect it up in this area, you would have to stay somewhere around this area, which would be the last real rejection support area. So again, good solid move. Remember, I called this thing beautifully a double leg move up in gold, really ripping. It's great to see this move. You can see here the double leg move. Whoops. No, there's leg one, pause. There's leg two. We're getting up into that peaky area. So remember, 20, 25.85, 25.60. Those areas are really going to play out very importantly. In fact, I think I did it here. GC. Yeah, this is the chart that I drew for you guys. I think it was yesterday or over the weekend. And you can see these numbers 25.74, 25.83, 25.92, 26.02, and 26.13. These all play a very, very important role in the market and looking for this price. And again, we're coming right up into that lower channel, that 25.74 area, $14 away from it. Every single one of these levels higher really needs to be structured around protecting your profits on the way up. Yes, gold can move higher, but you need to stay protected along the way. And each one of these levels here indicates a very solid move. You can actually see them, 25.72, 25.74, 25.80, 25.83, 25.94, 25.92, 26.02, 26.02, 26.13, 26.13. And then, of course, we have 26.24 up here. So if I really wanted to, I go 26.24 and add another level to it. But you want to use these levels as like a ladder rung for protection. Okay. Okay. And then lastly, we'll come over here to Bitcoin, moving slightly higher. Really beautiful off of this double flagging apex move. We need to see it continue to rally. We do have this broader flag move here. So, if you take a look at this move here, coming up, rolling, really hitting off this level, A, B, C, D, deep rolling. And as I mentioned to you guys earlier, if that deep rolling plays out as a washout low, we could see it move your apex and then big move off to the races higher. So let's kind of see how this plays out. We've got a very solid double bottoming formation right over here. We've got very solid support down around 54 to 55,000. We're rolling through this dual flag. We need to see some upward movement. In reality, the next move is going to be to flag out in this area to readdress this apex. That's 64,500. And then I think we're going to break, maybe with some volatility here, and then up to the upside. Okay, guys, that's kind of your morning update right now. I'll talk to you later.